Microsoft lost its goddamn mind in 2013. So this is the year Sony and Microsoft were both going to announce their new consoles. This is the 8th generation of gaming. Everyone is very excited. Sony has the PS4 coming out, and Microsoft has the Xbox One. The Xbox One, apparently, is going to have this system where it's always on, it's constantly connected to the internet. So there's a lot of misinformation going around, a lot of rumors, and people are wondering, are they gonna actually own the games that they buy? Are they gonna be able to share their games with friends? Microsoft has a chance to put all these rumors to bed, to clear the air, to say exactly what the Xbox One will do. And they're gonna do this at a press conference right before E3.
Xbox One.
So Microsoft has a press conference, and they answer none of those questions. They basically outline a system that might be always on, that might have used game sales, that may not allow you to actually resell games. It's all pretty confusing. And afterward, honestly, a bunch of spokespeople and executives didn't clear the air. And then Microsoft had another chance. E3 2013 comes around about a month later. And Microsoft takes the stage and again, doesn't clear up any of these questions. Basically just has a press conference talking about entertainment and streaming and sports and all the TV options that are gonna be on the Xbox One. And then, yes, games, there's a bunch of games. But not much information about how these games are gonna actually function, what DRM is gonna be on the console, and whether it's gonna be always on, constantly connected to the internet. And again, executives and spokespeople don't clear the air afterward. There are conflicting reports left and right. Tweets are contradicting what spokespeople are saying. It's a mess.
That Xbox One will launch this November in 21 markets around the world at $499 in the US, and 499 euros in European markets, and 429 pounds in the UK.
PlayStation 4 will be available at $399.
Sony drops the mic on Microsoft completely. Without naming the Xbox One at all, without saying Microsoft, Jack Tretton goes on stage and says all the things the PS4 will be able to do. It will be able to function without an internet connection. The crowd goes wild. You will be able to share games with friends just by handing them a disc. The crowd goes wild. It'll take advantage of a bunch of cloud computing stuff that the Xbox One will also do. And the biggest one, it's gonna cost $100 less than the Xbox One. It's gonna be $400 as opposed to $500. And I mean, the stadium loses it. I've been to a lot of E3 press conferences. I've never felt anything like that. I've never smiled and looked around in shock so much during a press conference. It was pretty incredible to see. And it translated. I mean, online, the conversation was about how Sony won E3 and Microsoft was really presenting a confusing message. So about a week after E3, Microsoft completely scraps its plans, just throws them out the window. The Xbox One, they announce, will not have to connect to the internet every day. There won't be restrictions on used games or sharing games. There won't be region-specific limitations. It's just a complete reversal of everything they've been saying for the past 2 months in very complex terms.
This is how you share your games on PS4.
Thanks.
So by the end of 2013, it seemed pretty clear that Microsoft had messed up, Sony was on the right track, and that's where gaming was going. The PS4 had the lead. But what if Microsoft was right? This is the world we live in now. It's connected. It's constantly online. Gaming exists online. Our consoles exist online. There are streaming services, Twitch TV, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu. These are apps that people use every day. But on top of that, the gaming world itself is online now. The biggest games out there, Fortnite, Overwatch, PUBG, Rust. I mean, you name it, Dota, League of Legends. These don't work without an online connection. They're online-only games. Esports have exploded in popularity. These are games that are played online against people around the world. Look at it this way. In 2013, 70% of adults in the US had broadband connections in their house. In 2018, today, that number is still 70%. The world was ready for an always online system in 2013. But Microsoft had to convince people that this was true. And it's not because Microsoft was wrong, it's just because they were first. So instead of selling us a dream of the future and what it could be totally connected, Microsoft sold a bunch of specs and confusing messaging and flashy TV ads. To be fair, the video game industry probably wouldn't be that different today had Microsoft succeeded in selling a constantly connected console. Internet adoption would still be what it is. Culturally, we would still share way too much information online all the time. That's just where we would be. We would still have Overwatch and Fortnite and all these games. The difference would be Microsoft would have more of a say. Microsoft would have more stable systems, more control over the future of video games in general. Maybe even they would have been able to push Sony to adopt things like cross-console play, which is something that Sony alone, out of all the major console manufacturers, will not allow. It's clear that Microsoft knew where the industry was going back in 2013. Microsoft saw the internet and what it was doing and what it could do for gaming, as did Sony, as did Nintendo. Everyone saw this coming, but only Microsoft was preparing for it 5 years ago. It's not as if the video game industry would be this beautiful utopia if Microsoft had actually succeeded in selling a constantly connected Xbox One. But it would be different. Maybe we would be pushed slightly forward in our evolution as an industry. Because today, an always-on console isn't much of a stretch. In fact, it's already a reality.